All right, welcome back to BM Talks to Them. So, today we are here with some of the people from episode 64,
Mhm.
and there's a lot going on, I believe. So, I wanted to kind of bring everyone here. Let's speak. Let's see what's going on. How's everyone doing?
Great.
Pretty
Good.
good.
Doing great.
Okay, okay. First question: How was your experience on the show?
Eventful.
Uh-oh.
Very
Okay,
eventful.
Chris. Why was it eventful?
Um, oh, the follow like the show started after the recording. Let's just put it that way. Like the
Oh,
the real show started after we walked off set.
okay. Well, we'll get to that. As far as the show itself, how was it for you, Miracle?
So I just want to say, honestly, it was a great experience. I love the whole concept of the show, to be honest. Like, especially as a society, us coming out of the pandemic, sort of in a time where dating was like very even more difficult than what it was before. Um, and so I don't know, I feel like the show was sort of progressive in the way of like, hey, you don't like something, let somebody know right away. Because if one thing the pandemic taught us was we don't have time, right? So the concept overall of the show, I really am enamored with, and I enjoyed it. So I think I had a good time, and I met some great people. I made some good connections. Um, yeah, so it was great.
Okay. And then Sanel, how was the show for you?
I think it was great. I had fun. It was a great opportunity for me to, put myself like kind of like showcase myself. And give myself an opportunity to meet people as well as like a partner. I enjoyed it. That was fun for the most part. Yeah,
Okay, okay.
yeah,
All right, let's go straight into it, guys. Let's go
yeah.
straight into it because I can sense that something's happened. So you said that the show started after the recording. What's going on, Chris? You can start the
Um,
whole conversation.
well, I'm gonna start with well, we went through the recording process. Like Nell and I matched with two women. Neither one of them are here. We went on a double date. We opted to not go on individual dates. We went on a double date to Yard House. Um, we could hear each other's conversations. And so, following the show, like we went on our date, but we both went on individual dates with the girl. But communication started with everybody for the most part from the show. Everybody had exchanged Instagrams, exchanged information. So we all go home, and things happen when you're communicating with people of the opposite sex, whether you're across the country or not. Like conversations happen. So like the idea of the show, I enjoyed the recording of the show, like Miracle said. Um, and like Nell said, you put yourself out there and you get the opportunity to meet people in a different way. You kind of get to meet, um, as a guy, is different to meet a girl before you met the girl. Like you get to ask questions and hear her responses to determine if you want to go forward with them.
Mhm.
But just like in dating in real life, you meet people's representatives. Like you meet the person that they want you to. So as you start to go deeper, you start to find out who they actually were. And as you start to speak to, like Nell and I had conversations, you start to find out through those communications how people deal with other people. So after the show, um, after we all went home, I invited everybody. I was willing to fly everybody to Atlanta so we could watch the show together. And it went down just on so many different levels. I wish somebody would have warned us about gathering up after the show. BM, you should have said something, dog.
Not should have. You should have watched the podcast that I always
Hello?
do.
BM always warns you
I
guys.
keep telling you people this is not pop the balloon or find friends,
Yeah.
Hmm.
and so many people will say, "Oh, everyone's grown; they can do what they like." Yeah, of course,
Mhm.
but we're humans,
Right.
and a lot happens when a lot of people get together.
Yeah.
So go on. What happened, Chris?
Um, so we all were communicating. Erica, of course, came to Atlanta, like she said, for the Beyonce concert. We hung out. Um, I opted not to go to the concert. It just wasn't my crowd. So she went. We hung out afterwards. It just things just kind of started to fizzle. The initial spark wasn't. I worried whether or not she could keep up with my life. Like I run three different businesses. I don't necessarily control my own time. It's scheduled for me or it's kind of on a whim. So, and she's a teacher and studying for her doctorate. So her timing is coordinated. Stuff started fizzling. We didn't necessarily speak as much. But D and I were in constant communication. So
Wait.
as I, yeah,
How did you get D's information when you
uh,
matched with?
Erica. So Chris, you matched with Erica.
hmm
Nell, you matched with D.
hmm
So what's this? Is this a match swap or what's this? I'm confused. What's going on? So
That's
wait. So
exactly what it
Chris,
is.
how did you get D's information? Like my wife just asked.
Um, everybody was exchanging Instagrams. So we all went, as I said, we went on a double date. So we were all at the restaurant together.
Mm.
Um, and then Erica, there was like this awkward, like almost 30-minute time frame where she took a phone call and went to the bathroom. Like she just disappeared, like around 1 o'clock. So, which is kind of threw me off because stepping away for a phone call is fine, and we do have kids, but that wasn't a kid call. And then Neil, D, and I were all kind of like having the conversation together, and the conversation started off innocently. It was about the flights. Like we were flying back on Tuesday. We didn't speak throughout the weekend. Eric and I went to Dave and Buster's, but everybody started kind of communicating, and I was the one who said, "I'm gonna fly everybody to Atlanta. Let's watch the episode together." So I hit up.
So who got whose details? Who asked for the Instagram? Was it
I actually didn't get her details from her. We all just followed, like it's Instagram, so we all just followed each other.
so? Okay,
Erica
so how
gave.
did you? Okay,
Go
okay,
ahead.
go on.
Yeah, Erica gave. When I told Erica that I wanted to do it, she actually coordinated. Like Caitlin, we didn't know everybody's Instagram because some people were like after the show, some people beelined it out of there and went on about their day. Um, there was a pool party everybody kept trying to get us to come to, so like it was. I don't know how it really happened. It just happened. Like everybody had each other's Instagram. She posted a story about her flight. I said something about swapping the flight time on mine. Conversation started from there. It was innocent for the first couple
I'm gonna
weeks
have to stop
after.
you there, Chris, bro.
Oh, go ahead.
Not knowing how something happened is wild because you know exactly what happened, right? Guys, you all just decided, yeah, after the show, happy family, let's all exchange Instagrams. Is that what you all decided to do?
No, I don't think that was it, BM.
Yeah,
I don't think that
So,
was it.
I didn't
so
have anybody's Instagram though. I don't the only person I had all the guys' Instagrams. Well, for the most part, like Chris, the other guy, a couple other guys, but that was about it.
I didn't have
I wasn't a part of that.
I didn't
Yeah, I
have
wasn't a
anybody's
part of
Instagram either
that.
after the show. So I guess Chris only had Instagrams. I don't do that. People
Yeah.
always be like, "Give me your Instagram, pass me Instagram." I don't do that. Give me your phone number.
Okay, so we heard Chris started cozying up with D, talking a little more. Nell, what was going on with you? Because that was your match, right?
Yeah. Um,
So what happened?
I thought we were good. I thought we were good. We spoke. We spoke every day. I said
Mm-hmm.
we spoke every day leading up until the party, the actual release party. of the
Okay.
which was like I think because you guys were off 1 week, so it was like maybe 3 weeks. So we talked for at least like 2.5 weeks,
Okay.
and everything was cool. You know what I mean? Everything was cool. I thought it was cool. You know what I mean? So you know.
So you were unaware. The same. Wait. So was she speaking to you at the same time she was speaking to Chris?
That I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I don't know the timeline, so I don't know. You know
Okay.
what I mean? Not that I know of. You know what I'm saying? From how like when we will speak, we'll be on the phone, texting, of course, on the phone, stuff like that. We'll be more so like just getting to know each other type of thing, like
Mm-hmm.
questions and stuff like that, like what you like, what you don't like, those type of things. Yeah, but that went on for like maybe like 2 weeks, maybe 2.5 weeks. Then
Okay.
yeah, so long story short, I was kind of like blindsided from the situation too. I was just kind of like, okay, what's going on? So I don't know. I really don't know what happened on their end, but on my end, I was just kind of like blindsided for sure.
So you also went to the watch party.
Yeah, I was there for sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Miracle, were you also at the watch party?
Yes, Chris flew me out there. Well, paid for
Okay. So let's talk about this watch party then, because it sounds like this is the common denominator.
Yeah.
Let's hear from Miracle. Tell me about it, sis. What happened from your point of view?
Well, where do you want? I'll start after the show, like Chris. So after the
Okay.
show, I didn't exchange Instagrams with anyone. However, I did exchange phone numbers with Kayla, because we really connected, and we're still really cool and close to this day.
Mm-hmm.
So she was the one who invited us to the pool party, and she actually invited me out there to the party as well. So that's where I went after the show. Um, and basically, it was pretty much a good night. I got to see downtown Phoenix with a few of her friends and her family that was there supporting her. And it was a good night. Actually, Hassan ended up coming out with us too. Um,
Oh Lord.
yeah. Well, we actually ended up connecting after the show just briefly, and it was nice. We don't talk anymore, but for that night, we had like fun together with Kayla and her people. And so anyway, we all went home. I kind of stayed in contact with Kayla and D afterwards. And that's when D invited me to the watch party. Originally, she invited both Kayla and I. Kayla couldn't make
Okay.
it, and neither could I, honestly.
1 second, Miracle. So sorry to cut you. You said D invited you to Chris's watch party.
She did.
Okay.
And that's
Let's let
how
her continue.
that's how I know they were talking. I mean, at some point, only because Kayla and I put that together. She never came out and said that to us, but it was sort of obvious because she knew way too much information about this watch party, like immediately after we got done filming, versus we found out about the real logistics of it, like Nell said, maybe like 2.5 weeks later. So she knew all the
Mm.
information way before everybody. And me and Kayla kind of did some deductive reasoning, like, all right, maybe Chris and D talked to each other, or maybe Chris told D about the party. That was all we kind of
Mhm.
knew. Um, so anyway, D called me the day before the party, pretty much like really just wanting some, I think, other girl from the show to be at the watch party, honestly. That's kind of where I felt like it came from. But I was trying to tell her, girl, I'm about to start school. I'm a teacher. I'm back in teacher mode at this point. And I actually had a teacher training that week. So anyway, Chris paid for my flight, and so I ended up going. Um
Okay. Okay. So we're at this watch party now. So what is it? Is it like just is it just people from Pop the Balloon that's watching the show?
Uh, no. So I planned on putting together episode, what was it, 57? Schumann, the guy with the lean. Um, he helped coordinate everything. We planned on watching I deal with a lot of celebrity clients. So them finding out that I was going on the show, they know that that was completely out of my comfort zone. It's not something I would normally do. I don't put myself out there like that. That event was already like planned. We were just gonna get a bunch of friends and A-listers together and watch it together, laugh and joke, eat and drink. But I said, you know what? If everybody's willing to come, like I offered to pay for everybody's flight. Caitlin was willing to come. I was paying for her flight, but I was told not to. Somebody told me not to. Um, and then I went to pay for it, but it was too last minute. By the time she would have been able to get on the flight, she would have gotten there well after it started. So it just didn't happen. Sorry, Caitlin. But and I sent somebody else the money. They end up sending it back because they didn't like the reasons that people popped on them. It's like they got it. Enjoy, have fun. I come to Atlanta another time. Um, Hassan lives in Georgia, and I think that it was just for him. It would have been awkward coming there with him and Miracle.
Mm.
They kind of hit it off, and then he got back to Georgia and stopped communication. Um, he was coming, then he wasn't coming. We pretty much spent the whole night. Like we actually waited to watch the show until what time was the Miracle? Like
It was late.
almost 10 o'clock, nine something.
Yeah.
It was late. We did. None of us watched the show when it dropped. We all waited so we could all experience it together.
Mm.
Um, the communication. So I'll let them speak, but I have been the people who were communicative with me about the watch party. Like D, yes, she knew information about the watch party, but I had also told the information to Erica. I thought she was gonna come, but I think she started to stuff started to die down between the two of us. I felt as though it was stuff she wasn't telling me. And instead of like what's understood doesn't need to be explained, basically. So instead of me trying to ask questions and dig deeper, it was surface level. You don't want to tell me, I won't ask, but it kind of made me distance myself. Um, as far as Nell and D, I was under the assumption that they weren't communicating. Nell and I, after the watch party, we had a conversation where he told me his point of view. And I told him, well, let's go to the watch party. So, watch party, everything's going smooth. I was in host mode. So, I really, like, I spent almost 12 grand total. Didn't even get a plate. They ate all the food, everything. It was some like reality TV show people there, athletes, a couple rappers, but just my clientele because they wanted to experience it with us. Some comedians. It was awkward from the point that like Nell said, all the guys were cool. So when I was told reach out to Nell, I actually was told to invite him by D. So I'm thinking that they had an understanding. When Nell pulled up, so I had a wardrobe issue. I was not ready when everybody started showing up. I was planning on originally wearing tan. D had on black, and when Nell pulled up, mind you, by this time, me and Erica have kind of stopped communicating, and D and I had started. They both had on all black. Nell pulls in. It was kind of awkward from jump, but and Nell and I had this conversation later. But someone should have said something to him. As a man, I feel like it's certain rules that we have to go by. It's like God code. I can't tell, but he can ask. The whole night was awkward because nobody was saying anything. It was kind of obvious that, like Miracle said, that D and I were dealing with each other just by body language and the way stuff was flowing through the night. Photographer kept trying to catch us together. Um, it was awkward situations with Nell, but everybody's drinking, everybody's having, for the most part, a good time. It was like behind the scenes stuff going on, but everybody that was there was talking about how much of a good time they were having. There was a couple situations that I'll let them tell their perspective on the situations that happened after we watched the show. Because I really don't even know. I have to fill it in because I don't know how it started.
Okay. So let's hear about it from Nell's point of view.
Yeah.
So Nell, you came to this watch
For
party.
sure.
You're saying at this point you and D are kind of still talking, or at this point when you're going to the watch party it's kind of fizzled out?
It was like 50-50 for me. I think
Okay.
I think I checked out myself. I feel like leading up to the party, there was a few red flags for me. And it had nothing to do with like her. Like it was just more so just like her response to certain things. I was like, nah, I'm not really feeling that. I'm not really feeling that. So I just kind of checked out myself. I said, I'm not even going to even really 100% pursue it. But the issue was kind of like the misleading on her end. I feel like she continued to mislead me. When she would she would check on me. She would do things. She would, oh, you haven't called me. Why haven't I heard from you since this morning? I've been in town. Like all these different things that just really just misled me to believe like, okay, like is she still into me or not? You know what I mean? But then it was like I would see stuff that would go on with her and Chris. Then I'm like, okay. But me, I'm the type of person I don't really get
What you mean,
involved.
like on Instagram?
Huh?
On like Instagram?
Well, it started with Instagram. Leading up to the party, it started with Instagram. I would see stuff. I was seeing things on Instagram. I was like, kind of putting two and two together. I'm like, okay, you guys are like, obviously she's just there with you because you guys are in the same place. But I'm like, I'm not fully understanding why. Things like that. Of course, I could have asked.
Wait, hold on, bro. You said same place. What?
I guess you guys are both in Georgia, Chris and
No,
D.
no. So
Oh,
leading up to the house party, leading up to I think it was that same day. So this is like Wednesday morning, which is the house party's like that night. So like I would see Chris's story and it'll be like one thing, then I'll see her story be the same exact thing. So that's when I started like, why are they in the same place? Like started like kind of just thinking things like that. I'm like, didn't really make sense to me. But then it's like when I see her, it's like, oh, why haven't you called me? I'm like, call you for what? Like why would I call you? I know what's going on. Then so even when we're there, like fast forward to the actual party, she was like again it's misleading me, like checking me on this. Oh, why you're talking to this person? Why am I talking to that person? This
at the watch party?
during the party, yeah. So during the party, she's like, all these different things are going on. Then here's like the spicy part, honestly. So I came there with a friend, right? And Chris, you don't know this, but I'm just gonna have to say it now. But so I came there with a friend. So I already had like an idea. So I was like, whatever. I'm just gonna continue. Just me, have a good night. It's a good time. I came way out here. I actually drove out there. It took me like 7 hours. You know what I'm saying? That doesn't matter. So I was like, okay. So I come out there. I'm still just locked in on just having a good time, networking and stuff like that. But I feel like the way she was playing it, as far as like just misleading me and stuff like that. We had a chance to talk, but then she kind of turned me down when I tried to talk to her about it. So from there, I was kind of like, I'm not gonna beg you. I'm not gonna push you. I'm not gonna shove you. Like kind of just say something. What's up? We've been talking. This is kind of weird. I'm kind of uncomfortable. I don't really know anybody here. Like all these different things. I'm like, I'm just vibing out, just trying to make the best of it. Things like that. Then I feel like as a host, Chris didn't really like I understand what was going on, but I feel like as a host, you kind of took on the role to like really like host the situation. I don't feel like you like I feel like you should have came to me at least still. You know what I mean? I could have came and said whatever, but I feel like still as a host, you should have came to me and just said what it was.
Well,
You know what I mean?
it's so we both were in the same kind of in the same boat, bro. So it was information that was withheld from me. D's a sweetheart.
Yeah, I'll
But
never talk back.
I
I have number of respect.
yeah,
I have
never.
respect for D.
So
I just think romantically, she went. I think she did some things wrong romantically, but
uh,
everything else she's
and that I agreed with you when I said somebody should have said something.
yeah.
But we're men. We're both in our 30s. You know that the game is played a certain way. I cannot come to you and be like, hey, bro. But if you like Nell, you noticed and had information pertaining to you and her that I did not. So if you felt during the party, it was awkward. Like people kept coming to. There was people there that felt like they owed me their lives. They're coming to me like, hey man, buddy's acting weird. Buddy acting weird. Like just say the word. And I'm like, bro. Like even the situation that happened upstairs that we'll get to in a second. You watched me tell my best friend that felt disrespected. Yo, I invited Nell here. Nell's good. Leave it alone. He's staying the night. You watch me check somebody I've known since I was 9 because clearly I understood that there was miscommunication, that there was information. Like you and I needed to have a talk after everybody was gone. I was hosting. As a host, I've got to make sure everybody has a good time and that
Yeah, that's where
there's
like
no incidences. That
that's
there's no incidences.
but that's where I disagree. You know,
So
I'm saying everybody, but it's like everybody but me. You know what I'm saying?
if you would have come to me like we spoke briefly multiple times, but if you would have come to me and said, "Hey man, tell me what it is," I could have set the record straight. But at the end of the day, you got to see from my shoes. I am hosting. If I come to you, I don't know you well enough to know how. If I come to you and say, this, and this is happening. This is my ball now.
Yeah, yeah.
How that would go. I don't know if you're gonna get bro. We still haven't watched the episode.
No,
You got there
that's
at roughly 7.
total misconception. Like it's like a whole misconception because I like from the beginning, I never had an issue. I would have never had an issue. I feel like I carried myself as a person that does not care. Like in that sense, like you could have told me. I think um, we should have spoke from the
So was it my job to tell you or the person that you were romantically dealing with? Was it my job to say something?
no
Because
that and that's where I take accountability because I know I should have said something for sure. And honestly, the thing is, part of me was more so like I was thinking bro code too a little bit like damn like, cause I'm thinking like if it was one of my friends or something like that, and he's dealing with a girl, then like she switches up and wants to deal with me now as a bro, I would tell my bro, I'm like, yo, bro, like this is what she's doing or things like that. We kind of try to lock it in that way. So I had expectations that you know what I mean. It was just you know what I mean. It was just I had
Yeah, so I have a question.
yeah.
So for Chris, you said you went on this double date with them. So you've been with them
mhm.
when they were, quote unquote, pursuing each other. So did it ever cross in your mind to kind of ask him, like, hey, she's talking to me, y'all still good? Like, I'm just trying
No,
to think if
because
that
he's
ever
not.
crossed your mind.
He said bro code, but the first time I met Nell was that like I didn't have his. We followed each other on Instagram, but that's not something you DM. The night that we went out, we were lit. The
Okay.
night like there was even a situation in the parking lot. Somebody came up on us like he was gonna try to rob us. Like the whole it was eventful, the whole experience. So um, when we were at the bar, I was catching the vibe. Like as I told you, Erica disappeared for about half an hour. So I was catching the vibe that she wasn't picking up what he was putting down. Um, and the conversations that happened following, like when I got back to Georgia, they didn't pick up immediately. That Tuesday when we were flying out, there was a brief conversation about shoulda, coulda, wouldas, and she was off the lineup before I ever got up there. Um, my intention with going there was, of course, to take a leap of faith, put myself out there. But but it was to find somebody that could actually keep up. She's an entrepreneur. I am. So I'm hearing conversations. I'm hearing their conversation, should I say, and it's certain stuff's catching my attention. It felt like
Hmm.
I don't know, like she was when she was talking, um, it felt like Nell was in competition with her. Like she would say something dope about something she's done, and I charged it to he was inebriated, like he was drunk, he's feeling loose. Like it is what it is. Like we all get that way. So, um, but like I was also when we got back and the stuff that's being like he got put in the mixers. So did I. So
Yeah.
when we got back, like until the party, I did not think Nail and D had any conversations with each other after after the show. When we got to the
That's
party,
because D made you feel like
body
that.
language said,
Sorry, what'd you
That's
say,
because
Miracle?
D made you feel like that because of how bad
I
she
wouldn't even
talked
say that.
about because of how bad she talked about Nell to you.
Okay, well, let's hear about it from Miracle then. Tell us everything, like from your point of view, what you heard, what you witnessed, all of that.
I mean, like I said, D was the one thing we all three have in common is D was misleading because she was misleading to Kayla and I as well. Like I said, the three of us out of the girls sort of connected the most. And she never let us know, even though I was honest, like I say, about Asan and I like kind of hanging out afterwards, trying to get to know each other, and then it fizzling out and not working out. They knew about that. They knew about certain things. Kayla was sharing things with us, but Dee never told us that her and Chris were talking. What she did share was what Chris just said about Neil, that she felt like when they were out, that he was in competition with her and she doesn't like a man like that and things like that. And they hung out the next day after their double date. Nell met up with D somewhere and she just felt like he wasn't a gentleman. He didn't pay for her meal, like they pay for each other's separate meals. But now, Nell, and I'm not trying to out you, I'm just telling the story as I know it. But I will say, now knowing context from Nell, he probably felt slighted after that first night and already felt some weird energy. So that's probably why he didn't feel prompted to pay for her meal. But I will say though that once we got to the party, what Chris is talking about or Neil is talking about when D was confronting him about talking to certain people, I don't know, Neil. I'm just assuming here that
Yeah.
maybe she was talking about me. I don't
Yeah.
know.
For
Okay.
sure.
So at the party, Neil and I were flirting. We were. I'm a single woman. Neil is a single man. He is handsome. I am beautiful. So, of course, when we went to the party, we were vibing with each other. Okay? And anybody with eyes could see that D and Chris was together. You didn't need to get asked no questions. To be honest, Neil, y'all didn't have to have no man to man talk. Anybody with eyes could see that. So Neil talking about what happened on Instagram prior to the party. I mean, that's only putting two and two together as well. That's what I did on my plane ride there. I peeped it as well. I was like, oh, okay. They at the
Can I
Airbnb.
say something?
Yeah.
Can I say something?
Mm.
Sorry. All right. So this was I meant to say this earlier, but this was kind of like a pivotal point of the night for me. So there was a point of the night where my friend, my partner that I came to the party with. So I'm minding my business, like I'm like outside. So I'm just like minding my business, socializing. Then like he comes to me pretty much saying that he saw D and Chris kissing. So that kind of like solidified it for me. So at the party, so I'm like, okay, you know what? So from there, everything kind of shifted for me. You know what I'm saying?
I'm telling you. I
I felt
get
like,
that,
I felt
Neil. I
like,
get that, Neil.
I
So
felt like it was like a setup. I feel like I wasn't even supposed to be there to begin with. I'm like, what am I doing here? Then it's like, I feel like Chris as a host, okay, great. You know what I'm saying? But it's like he didn't straighten anything out. You know what I'm saying? I felt like it got to a point where it was just like I felt like the disrespect was just building at that point.
I
The
agree.
disrespect
I
after
agree. And
disrespect, and that's kind of like what led to like whatever they want to talk about after this. But it was just like I've never been so disrespected in my life.
I
It was just
agree. And
So
also one of Chris's
okay,
friends was like on the microphone at the party, like doing the most, like capping on that, like joking on Neil, like in the video, like talking about his outfit, like just it was more.
that wasn't a kick. So Nail didn't take it as a kick either. I want to clarify
it
that.
was all
That wasn't a kick. Some people were in the YouTube comments
yeah,
going in about Nail's leather tie.
yeah,
He said that Nail's fit on the show was dope, and
yeah,
he asked if everybody else felt the same way. So
He
like
did it
that,
in a
yeah.
because
very corny way, like
yeah, but they were going in on the tailoring on outfit. Like I didn't even try my suit on until we were going out there. So it was like a running joke. But that
I
wasn't
had no
a kick at nail.
I had no problems with anyone at the party. You know what I'm saying? As far as like Chris's associates, friends, colleagues, whatever you want to name it. I think they were all cool. You know what I'm saying? I feel like I didn't really give them all the chance really because of everything that happened afterwards. But yeah, I didn't take any of that stuff personal. It was
I,
just really
I
good.
I
just
feel like
yeah.
if but now if you felt that's what I reiterated to you multiple times. If you felt like you said your words, not mine, you felt like everybody there knew something that you didn't. Bro, you got to say something to me. Like I didn't feel that way, and I've got about 300 people that I'm responsible for making sure that they had a good time. So bro, you got to step to me. If you showed up and if you felt disrespected, like disrespect is a major word because I
I,
don't disrespect anybody.
that's why
So
I feel like
if you felt that way, you got to tell me,
my
bro.
action that night coincides. Like my actions on how I felt coincide with the level of disrespect I felt. I would have never
Yeah,
like. I felt like I was out of pocket for the most part. Like
Okay. All right.
yeah,
So it's clear that Neil was left in the dark. He did not know what's going on. And he probably reacted the type of way because of all this. I just want to say something, guys, right? When I say this is not Pop the Balloon or Find Friends, this is exactly what I'm talking about. You guys are here in competition. You're all competing with each other to match. You're not here to make friends on the day and then go out, do the most. You can become friends with people, but know who you're becoming friends with. I feel like some people come here just to get a little kick for entertainment, and then when it goes wrong, they're looking for who to blame. So I actually I want to ask you guys here, and I also want to ask the audience, everyone watching, who do you feel is at fault? So everyone watching, comment down below who you think is at fault here. And I want you three as well as I want you guys as well that's here today to tell me who do you think is at fault for all of this? Because I'm gonna be real, this is a mess.
yeah.
it gets worse.
Well,
Oh,
It gets
it
worse.
does.
Oh
I
man.
can answer your.
What's
Can I answer your question?
who?
Well, I think obviously the elephant in the room. I think it's D. Like I understand where you guys stand, Chris. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna stand where you stand and stuff like that. But I feel like it was just handled immaturely. You know what I'm saying? Especially like the level of like I just feel like the level of respect and love I've showed D throughout that time we did speak. I feel like a conversation was still like, even on her end, she should have still like, okay, you know what, I'm going this way with it, or however she could say it. She should have just said something. I would have had cared. You know what I'm saying? It's not to put it on you. Like you should have came and said to me. It's whatever you said to me or not. It's whatever. But I feel like whatever me and her got going on, she should have just like just said something. I don't even because like I said, we had a conversation leading up to your the party, like literally like a couple days before. Just the party's on Wednesday. I think we spoke Sunday. And I asked her, I straight up and asked her, I said, hey, do you think it's a good idea for me to continue to pursue you? And she said yes. She wanted that. She said yeah. But at that point, I was already checked out. She didn't know that, but I was already kind of checked out just based off some of the things she said around that yes. So I was like, man, nah, I just don't, that yes wasn't convincing enough for me. So from that point on, I was already checked out. But I feel like she could have handled that a little bit more maturely.
Okay. All right, Miracle, who do you think is at fault?
I I want to agree, but I gotta hold Chris accountable too, just because he invited us to the watch party, and
Yep.
in my like for my case, he even paid for me to come, and I felt almost like I came for some drama. So I feel like how Neil feels. Um, you know, you are hosting a party, you maybe weren't 100% sure, Chris, because now it's being revealed that D was misleading to the both of you, but you kind of knew that Nell and D were still talking because you and I spoke after the whole situation, and you were honest with me and told me that you knew what was going on, but you were okay with it.
Yeah, that was, but that was after the situation,
Yeah,
and that
after.
deduction was based on the way that stuff went down during the party. See, before that, I didn't think enough about it. Man, I got to sell 40 cars a month and run a gym. Like I'm not thinking about that. I don't have enough time to actually think about that.
No, I believe
The
you. I
the
believe
way the
you.
stuff went down that day when we were upstairs talking after the whole blow up in the bathroom, the the when we were talking, like I was telling you, it was clear and obvious that certain stuff wasn't said, um, that should have been said,
To me and Nell,
and
that's what you said. You said something
mhm,
should have been told to you and Nell, and it wasn't. And the whole issue is that, you know, I do feel like it wasn't a happy situation. It wasn't a safe situation at the end. And that's something I'm really big on too. Like, I'm an adult. I like having a good time, but I'm all about
mhm,
making it home to my baby, in one piece, mentally and also physically. And I don't feel like that was the case. I had to kind of process that
mhm,
situation afterwards. But I will say, like, I'm not 100% blaming you. I think you were kind of blindsided too in a way. So I do blame D. And D was misleading to me. I had no clue from D that y'all were talking. I mean, I'm a science teacher. I just put two and two together, like Neil said,
mhm.
and I was able to figure that out. Okay.
Uh,
So, Chris, who do you think is at fault?
um, me, ultimately me. Um, I planned this event. Um, I probably should have called Nell and I had a quick conversation, and um, I really wish D was here. I really wish D and Erica were in here with
The thing
us
is,
to kind of get their perspective. But
Chris, you don't owe me,
Nell,
you don't owe me anything. Like I don't walk.
no, it's not about. It's not, bro.
I, I don't think you owe me anything as far as like you were supposed to tell me on some bro, like on some homeboy bro.
Nah,
Like,
not about that.
just
At the end of the day, I organized this event. The event was going to be. I'm the one. The event was organized, but I'm the one that decided that I went through this experience with these people, and I'm gonna bring all of them. I'm gonna bring all of them here. Like I could have, bro,
you had a
12
money
grand.
though. It was
Like I could have saved my. I could have saved my money. That was
no,
Super Bowl tickets for next year.
no.
So like I could have.
It was a great.
At the end of the day, I put it together, and then throwing an event. I threw parties. I threw parties through college for 10 years, through college and after college. You want the fight to happen at the beginning of a party. So that way, everybody got something to talk about at the end. I should have said something. I could have said something in the beginning once I realized there was foolishness afoot. Um, I'm not going to speak on D. I have nothing to say negative about her because uh, she's a docile, like she has a soft temperament. It could be that we've all went through it in the past, where it could be that it was an uncomfortable conversation to have, and she just figured that,
Mm-mm, we grown.
yeah, you're right, we grown, but
Mm-mm.
at the end of the day, I was asked who fault I feel like it is. I feel like it's my fault because I put everybody under the same roof. Like Miracle said, her objective is to get home safe. Nell, you said I didn't know that your friend. I knew that was your friend when he got there because he was on your Instagram from like I had seen
Yeah,
him before. So the but my friends were there. My friends were peeping everything. They're coming finding me. Like I'm moving through upstairs trying to make sure the basketball court is that folks ain't killing themselves in the basketball court. Downstairs trying to make sure the grill is running right.
So
Making
so
sure that
what
it's a
happened? What happened?
um. So
I'll say.
there
I'll
was
say.
people.
So what happened was Nell and I the whole night were sort of,
vibe.
vibing. We were. I'm gonna be honest, and it was totally fine with the both of us because it was made clear to us what they had going on. By this time, we had watched the episode already. The party was fizzling down. Nell and I had been drinking, and so we were outside by the pool. I was sitting on his lap. We were vibing. Okay, and it was a point in our conversation that we were having where Neil started kind of being vulnerable about his feelings about the night. You know what I mean? Because I even asked him, like we both were sharing our feelings, and because it was a crazy night. And I, having my own room, apparently, which is what I was told when I got there,
Mm-hmm.
was like, you know what? We're at a party for Pop the Balloon watch party. It's people here that we don't know that came to watch the episode. The episode had people who matched that in this real life, real time is different people. So everybody at this party probably confused already. Let's not confuse nobody no more. And also, I don't want nobody hearing us talking about one another and we all here. And he wasn't talking bad about nobody. He was just sharing his experience. I just didn't want nothing to pop off messy, right? Well, I told him, come on, let's go to my room and we can talk, right? So I was jokingly like, I ain't sitting on the bed with you. So we went to the bathroom and there was like a really huge shower. And inside the shower was a bathtub. So Neil sat inside the bathtub. I sat on his lap like we were outside by the pool already. It's just now we relocated to the bathtub. Didn't lock the door, nothing. I didn't have nothing to hide. We weren't doing anything sexual. We were talking. Okay. And Dee's friend, who she invited to the party, decided to eavesdrop on our conversation. And all of a sudden, the next thing I know is Chris, Dee, and two of Chris's friends in there basically ready to kick Nell out the party. In which they,
No, that's not what happened. I don't like interrupting people, but that's not the way it went down.
how so?
That's why I would.
How
That's why I stayed
so?
upstairs speaking to you.
But let me,
So
can I say?
go ahead,
Let
Neil. Go ahead,
pick up.
Neil.
Let me pick up from like it didn't happen. Like I think I know what Chris is talking about, but so um, she's like the friend comes upstairs, hears us talking. She leaves, come back. No, she leaves, and like in 5 minutes or just a few minutes later, two guys come upstairs. Two guys come upstairs and come in the room. They're like, oh, they're like, we're gonna need this bathroom. So I instantly got defensive because of already what everything that was going on that day. You know, me being rubbed the wrong way in so many different ways. So I instantly got defensive because it didn't really make sense to me why they wanted this
This
bathroom.
bathroom out
This
of this
bathroom.
whole big old mansion.
We're in this big house with multiple bathrooms. There's one offs here and there, which everywhere. But it's taking two guys to come tell me that they need this particular bathroom. Did not sit right with me. So I kind of got a little mouthy. And, talking shit a little bit. And that's when, like, I guess a few minutes after that, that's when Chris D and her friend comes
Come
upstairs.
back. Yeah, well, the friend came back and Chris and D.
Yeah, they come upstairs collectively from what I remember,
Mm.
and I feel my issue was kind of like my turning point even in that situation. Like Chris was there again. Like I said, I'm not coming down on you, Chris, but it's like as a host, you know what I'm saying. I've hosted parties too. I've been to parties. I know a lot of hosts, so on and so forth. But I just feel like as a host, it's like you're saying you want to make sure everybody's good, but it felt like everybody but me. You know what I mean? So when I was in that situation, even in that situation when I was hostile, I feel like you did nothing to kind of diffuse the situation or even like handle the situation. So it was like I was left in there, and that's what kind of like took me overboard because I'm just like everybody's staring at me like I'm crazy. When in reality, I feel like
Yeah.
all y'all was crazy, and then it wasn't even me. Like so, yeah, I was turned up.
All right, guys, I'm gonna wrap this
Yeah,
up because I feel like I'm watching a TV show.
yeah,
Um, you know, guys,
it's drama.
we don't want this from you guys. We don't want people coming on our show and then it ends badly. We do not want that. We want you all to have a good experience, to all be
For
good
sure,
with each other.
for sure.
That's why we try to, say the things that we say, like, you're here to find love. Entertainment should not be your first goal. If you're coming here for entertainment, you're going to get entertainment. Then you're going to be disappointed. So, the only thing that I will ask for you guys is to be civilized and for you to respect each other and find a way to have no bad blood with each other. Now, before we go, I want to ask you, Chris, where do you stand with D now?
Um, again, that story is still unfolding. Um, it's there was other stuff like when I say eventful, that's about a third of the things that have happened. Um, there was um, that's about a third of what actually went wrong. So after even after that, like Nell talked about um, the situation upstairs. I actually checked those guys when I came upstairs. Nell was drunk and wasn't really listening to anything, but I told him Nell stand, and we got past that night. Miracle has since been dating my best friend. He's head over heels about her. Um, Stuff as far as this conversation between the three of us, I have no issues with Nell. Got nothing but love for Miracle. Miracle, no, I'm rooting for her big time. Um, Again, I wish that Dee and Erica were here because a lot of other stuff happened. Hopefully, there's a catch up where we're able to try to resolve those situations as well.
So
Um,
where do you stand? Where do you stand now with D?
where I stand, still trying to figure it out. Like where I stand with D, I care about D heavily. Um, it's only been a couple. It's been what month or two since about a month and a half since the show, and I feel like we've gone through 2 or 3 years worth of experiences. So hopefully we're able to give you all an update and more information about stuff that's going on or conspired since then. But yeah, I'm still here. I'm still single, but care about D heavily.
Guys, at our age, it's very important for us to eliminate ourselves from unnecessary stress
Hmm.
because it seems like so many people walk into stressful situations and then they stress even more. So you're adding stress on top of stress. All you're gonna get is stress. You guys go into that watch party. First of all, you not just met each other. Somebody's flying you all out and you're all going as well. Yeah, let's all go. Think about it. You're going to meet a bunch of people you don't know. You don't know how it's going to end. Guys, sometimes it's not all about entertainment. Think about what you're what you're getting yourself into. So, to end it off, guys, do you lot have any final words to say before we leave?
Let's start with Sanel.
Again, I enjoy the experience from start to finish. Even the party was cool. Of course, if I could, I'll change some certain things on my end. You know what I mean. But other than that, like Chris, I don't have any problems with Chris. You know what I mean. I would have been rooting for him if like the circumstances were different. You know what I'm saying? But it is what it is. Miracle, no, I got love for her too. Me and her talk here and there, but besides that, you know what I mean. I had a good time. I need a
Okay,
redo.
Chris.
I need a redo though. I need a do over.
Let's let's let the comments decide on that. Comment down below if you want to see Neil back on the
Let's
show.
do it.
Everyone.
Okay, Chris, any final thoughts, any final words?
No, like I went on the show to find a person. I didn't. Um, I wish that the drama didn't follow. Um, I really wish that there was no. I wish that feathers weren't ruffled between any of us. So, like, I'm glad that we kind of got to talk about what happened. But yeah, don't for the people going to show in the future, don't go throwing no parties afterwards. Take it from me. It's
There
expensive
we
and it's a
go.
headache.
This is not pop the balloon and throw a party. This is not pop the balloon and find friends.
That's a new
You
one.
feel me? This is pop the balloon and find love, guys. Come with intentions of matching.
That's a new
You
one.
know.
All
All right,
right.
miracle.
Yes, I
Yeah.
think
Final
Chris and
thoughts.
Neil are great guys. I think Chris is so special. Um, I think he has a lot to offer the world, and I think he has a lot of love in his heart, and he has good intentions. I think Neil is great. I had a great experience. Even honestly, up until the situation upstairs, Chris, I had a damn good time at your party. If you want to know. Okay.
Everybody said the same
Yeah,
thing. They
you
had the
did a
time of their
good
lives
job.
and
So
want me to
don't,
keep
yeah,
doing it, but
you did great.
Yeah, no, don't do it
But I
again.
would say,
Don't.
don't do that. But yeah, I mean, I enjoyed the experience, and I think like all of us, we made our own connections. Like I said, Kayla and I are still cool to this day. Me and Nels, so I enjoyed it, and God has a funny way of bringing all things together for the good, right? So that's how I see it for me, at
Mhm.
least.
I'm just happy that it didn't end so badly, guys. Please, let's
Most definitely.
Yeah,
all
seriously.
come on. We all have to get on with each other,
Yes.
you know.
Most definitely.
All right, guys. Well, thank you for joining the podcast,
Yes.
and everyone, please comment down below who you think I should bring back, and also comment down below who you think is at fault for all of this. I don't know what to call this—a TV show, a reality TV show. I don't
If
know,
I,
but
hey, look,
it's a lot.
BM, if I come back, trust and believe I'm going last again, and I'm telling everybody like, hey man, I don't know y'all after this.
I'm going no. Next time I'm going last.
And just to throw in a disclaimer, because I don't know if we threw that in the beginning, everyone was invited. The people you see here are who chose to come on, just to kind of throw that out there so that people don't think anything in the comments or anything like that.
That's because we feel like we in the principal's office, BM.
Yeah, like we got written up. Miracle we in
We
trouble
got
now.
ISS.
No, no, yeah, everybody was given an
The
opportunity to come
Yeah.
on. I do hope the best for you all, and I hope that you're all able to be good and have no bad blood,
Yeah.
and we can all get on.
Definitely.
You can create a spinoff called After the Balloon Pops.
All right, thank you everyone for watching. We'll catch you all next time.
Definitely.
Thank you guys so much for your time.
Bye.
All right.